Buggy lick, my friend, them not no live a good life, but I live it up my bed.
First thing on a bowl like me full of gold, every clip full of crocodile teeth.
If you match your business,
Can you imagine changing your diet drastically to become healthier, to live longer, only for that same diet be the cause of your passing? Well, that is exactly what happened to this TikToker. Her name was Zahana Samsonova. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. She's a 39-year-old TikToker, and she really kind of blew up for her completely raw vegan diet that she's been following for the last 4 years, and she's been documenting her journey, and she do what I ate today and what she's been eating and how she's eating. And if you go and you look at her page, you can see like her health just slowly getting worse and worse. You can literally see it in her face. Look at her. This is how she looks. This is how she looked before she passed, and then I'm gonna show y'all how she looked before. So this is how she looked at the starting of this diet. Do y'all see the difference? So she absolutely loved her new diet and how she looked, and she's so slender and she feels so healthy, and she thought it was the best thing ever. But people around her obviously did not feel the same. See right here, you have one of her friends saying they have feared waking up and seeing her lifeless body. These were the people who were around her. Just imagine the people who don't know who she is and see her for the first time. This was the very first video I saw of her. She looks horrible. She looks so pale. She looks so sick. Her skin is literally orange. She's pale and orange. I ain't never seen nobody look like that before in my life. And it's not like I know her. I've never seen her before. I just seen this video and I said to myself, nah, this person looks so sick. Like, is everything okay? And that's when I decided to go on her page and really see, what's up with her. And you can see her progressively getting worse and worse and worse, meanwhile trying to give this illusion of, oh my god, I'm just being healthy, I'm just doing the right thing, trying to make my body a temple, when realistically this girl was suffering from an eating disorder. Because this is anorexia. This is way past a healthy body weight. And the fact that there was so much people cheering her on, telling her she's doing such a great job, and she's influencing so much other people with how she's eating and how she's living. And a lot of other people were, trying to mimic that lifestyle. I mean, she's out here mixing up green pineapple with ginger, and that's all she's drinking. All she eats is vegetables, and fruits. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I could never. I love meat too much. But with these type of diets, you have to plan it carefully, because if not, it's not gonna work out for you. You're gonna end up looking like this. Those type of diets are very restrictive. You have to know what you're doing, how you're gonna do it, how long you're gonna do it for, and if you even have the resources to do it in the first place. And it's also dangerous because some foods are better off cooked than being eaten raw. And obviously she did not do as much research as she should have. Only her eyes merry eyes, and gorgeous hair compensated for the dreadful sight of a body tortured by idiocy. Forgive me if that sounds harsh. You know, sometimes in life, we deserve to hear some harsh things. We deserve to get some tough love, because you see, if she received that tough love, she probably would still be here today. She died from starvation. She literally starved herself while trying to convince herself she's on a healthy journey and she's doing the right thing. Do y'all think if she had someone in her corner telling her, listen, what you're doing is stupid, you're hurting yourself, you're doing this thing way too long, there are other ways to go about doing the same thing, do you think she would still be here? Or do y'all believe that she did have somebody in her corner telling her that, but she just did not listen because she's so consumed with what she's doing? Because honestly, I just feel like she needs a Darwin Awards. Like, who starves themselves? Somebody who's obviously not up there mentally. Like, that's the most craziest thing I've ever heard. It's not like you're chained up somewhere, you know. It's not like you're kidnapped and you ain't got no free will to do anything. You did this to yourself. Just look at the before and after. You can see that she was already obsessed with being thin. She was already obsessed with being thin, and she just took it to an unhealthy extreme. And that unhealthy extreme ended up taking her life, which is very unfortunate because she seemed like such a beautiful human being who's just stupid. Am I being too harsh? I don't know. I feel like if people go out of them way to do some dumb shit that costs them, it's like you can't really blame anybody else but yourself. Like, you can see this thing is taking a toll on this girl. She used to be so laughy, so bubbly. She's always smiling. Then it goes from her smiling to her not showing her teeth, to her looking sad and depressed, to her starting to look pale, to her starting to look like real sick. And then unfortunately, look at her. Look at her. Look how pretty she is, so full of life, right? It's just very unfortunate. It really is. And it's weird because I'm over here like, oh, why didn't somebody say something or whatever? People were probably over there saying stuff like under her comments, telling her she don't look right, she look pale, she look sick. And you know, she probably got her followers attacking those people, telling them to leave her alone and she is fine and and whatever. Like, we live in such a weird society that me as a person, if I see you're doing something wrong and I say something to you, I should have never said something to you, right? But on the flip side, I don't say anything to you, right? And then you go kill a bunch of people or you tell a bunch of lies. Then it's like, oh my God, this person is such a horrible person. No shit. It's like it always have to get to an extreme before anybody decides to do anything. Like that one lady who talked about her baby was a vegan. Like, how is your baby a vegan? Why didn't they do something when she was walking around talking about her baby is a vegan? Why did they wait until after the child is deceased? Then they're like, oh no, this lady's crazy. We cannot have this. Like, talk about slow timing. But let me know what y'all think in the comments below. I think she deserves a Darwin Award. Because I can't wrap my mind around you starving yourself to death unless she was like suffering with anorexia. Like, that's the only way that makes sense to me. She might have convinced herself the way she was living was the healthiest way, when it in fact was the opposite. Seems like balance is the hardest thing to find these days, because on one side you got the people that were extremely overweight, demanding free seats on planes, and then you have the other side of the spectrum where people literally have starved themselves to death. But I digress. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see y'all in the tomorrows.
Yeah, baby, tag them a little baby.